Not long ago, Matt Colville released a video, link in the doobly-doo, called Orcs Attack. In it, he presented that pair of words as advice for 4 sorts of situations. If your players are caught in an unresolvable discussion or argument, if your players are resting too frequently and going full Nova every single battle, if your players need a new perspective on a puzzle that they have wrestled with for a while, or if you just need to pad the runtime of your session, have Orcs Attack. It shakes things up, it returns players to where they started with a new perspective, and it can help eat up some of the runtime in case your players chewed through what you prepared too early. Now, I absolutely love that video and have nothing to critique about it. I would like to add my own 2-word slogan, however, as a version of this advice. Baby monsters! If the player characters are caught in an unresolvable argument, say about whether to go left or to go right, about whether to talk to the blacksmith first or talk to the innkeeper, or whether to side with one faction or another, and they just can't see eye to eye, have them find a baby monster. If your player characters are resting too frequently, resting after every battle, regaining all their abilities, and then expending all of their abilities going full Nova the next battle, and doing that again and again, have them encounter a baby monster. That makes things a little more difficult to keep resting that way. If your player characters have been locked in the same mindset and are unable to adopt a different perspective on the matters that beset them, have them find a baby monster. And of course, if you, the DM, need to pad the runtime of your session, have them find a baby monster. Baby monsters are awesome. First of all, they're monsters. Secondly, they're babies. And here are 5 tips about how to run baby monsters as an entertaining encounter for your players. First of all, hint that it's a baby. You need not say, and you find a baby monster. In fact, you probably shouldn't do that. But when you describe the creature that they find, indicate that it's a baby in some subtle ways. Maybe its eyes aren't open yet. Maybe it has very, very large eyes and stubby limbs. Maybe it doesn't move very quickly. Maybe it makes cute little babbling noises. But at any rate, you want your players to realize that this isn't just some other monster that they can carve up and eat or sell or whatever it is that they do with monster carcasses. This is a baby. Number 2, don't make its species too obvious. Yes, it's exciting if they find what is obviously a baby griffin or a baby dragon, but the babies of many real-world animals don't look very much like their adult counterparts. Think about how baby chickens aren't covered in white feathers, they're little and fuzzy and yellow. Or consider that baby frogs, tadpoles, don't even have their legs yet. Some animals, like caterpillars, go through a whole metamorphic process so that the larval stage and the adult stage are very, very dissimilar. And you can imagine all kinds of offspring that have body parts that they later shed, vestigial tails or teeth or eyes even. So, just because it is a baby dragon doesn't mean it looks like one. It should look like a baby something or other, but what? That can be an interesting puzzle for your players to ponder as they take the baby along with them, or interact with it, or try to get it back home, or whatever it is that they do with this exciting baby monster. Number 3, give it a wondrous ability. Preferably an ability that you would associate with the adult version of this monster, but not necessarily. Perhaps as babies, young griffins have a breath weapon attack. Perhaps they outgrow this when they become adults. But as little griffin chicks, or would it be cubs, they spit acid or fire or something. Or maybe they rub their fluffy little limbs together and have an electrical charge attack like Blanca from Street Fighter 2. Or maybe it's some kind of scaly beast that's constantly secreting an acid which can break through metal. Or maybe it can teleport. Give it a magical ability that makes the players go, whoa, and wonder what else it can do. Number 4, make it tricky to care for. Not impossible, not onerous, but make it tricky to care for. Maybe, as I mentioned before, it leaks acid and that this could damage your player character's equipment. Maybe if it isn't fed and cuddled regularly, it howls and makes a horrible noise that gives away your position to all surrounding monsters and troops. Maybe it smells really bad and forces constitution saves, whose failure means that you aren't able to take bonus actions because you're too busy coughing or retching. Maybe it just eats a lot, and you have to spend some time every day making survival checks to forage for food for this thing to eat. Or maybe it has an attraction to shiny objects, and it's liable not only to collect them from party members, but to wander off and give away locations to guards by trying to steal their shiny thing. It's best to make this sort of thing like a fun cost, which players don't mind paying, but which complicates things and makes the possession of a baby monster something more consequential than just a cool item with a special ability. And finally, put it in danger. I don't mean put it in circumstances where it's very, very, very likely to die, but make sure that it plays a certain Mindy role to the Animaniacs duo Buttons and Mindy. Let the baby monster accidentally trigger a trap. Let the baby monster start to wander off. Let the baby monster do something that imperils the party and makes things exciting any moment when things seem to be too dull. A baby monster is a great way to sort of mix things up at any moment when things seem dull, or when players are unable to proceed because they're locked into a mindset, or if they've chewed through most of the story that the DM had prepared, or any number of circumstances where you just want to have some upbeat that excites the players and reminds them that this is fun. Orcs attack, that's mighty fine advice. May I add a baby monster? What do you think? Have you ever given your players a baby monster? I mean, your player characters. How did they react? Did they enjoy this? Let me know in the comments. Thanks again for watching. As always, make sure to like and subscribe, and if you want to get notifications about the new content which I upload every week on this channel, click that bell icon. Thanks very much.